When I first held my baby, I think when I became mother, I lost the concept of I. I I just felt that there is no me. It's just my baby, and I think many mothers would attest to it that for mothers, their children are their first priority. So I think there was nothing in me. It was just the baby and taking care of the baby and feeding her, getting her to the bed, or fulfilling her needs. So I think if you ask me in just one sentence, I would say I felt selfless. There was nothing in me, it was just her. The hardest part of being a mother, um, I think being a mother itself is very tough, it's very difficult because it's like a full-time job. I would rather say it's more than a full-time job, because in a full-time job you work from Monday to Friday 9 to 5, but the motherhood is you are mother all the time, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. There is no holiday for you, there is no break for you. You are mother all the time. And then you are not only a mother, actually, you have other relationships. You have community, you have your family, you have your husband, your parents, your siblings. Then you have your community, like where were you doing the community work, the services, and you have your own educational path on which you were. You had your own career. So, yes, the mother has, in addition to motherhood, there are many roles that you have to play, and you cannot leave anything behind because all are important. So, I think the hardest part is to make difficult choices. That at what point, what would you do, and how would you do that you are not putting your baby on second, because that's the first priority. You cannot put your baby or your children on the second place. So, how do you handle all those different roles by not putting your baby on the second place? I think that's the most difficult part. And even then, if you do your best, put your baby on the first, and you do everything you can do humanly possible, still there are few things that are not under your control. For example, if your child got sick, or if your child is having some problem. Problems are part of life. Happiness and sadness is part of life, and we learn by mistakes. We learn through trials and tribulations. So you cannot stop your child to engage in those pain or those activities that can give them some challenges. So you have to teach them how to manage their problems and how to manage their pain. And it's part of life, you cannot take it away. But when you see them, when they are struggling and when they are really trying hard to get somewhere, and still they are in the process feeling that stress, that pain, that pressure, which we may not take it away, it's difficult for mothers. The best part about being a mother is I think you get additional opportunity to relive your life. You relive your childhood, you relive your youth and your adult life. It's just when you play with your baby, you are reliving your childhood. And often we might not have tried many things in our childhood, but we would do it as a mother. So we might not have dance or sing or just make funny faces in our childhood. We might be very serious person when we become mother. I think we just engage with the child so much that we relive our childhood. We relive our youth experiences. So I think that's the amazing opportunity for mother to relive and grow with your children. One memory of my motherhood that I will never forget is it's a difficult one. So this was a time when I was going away for my education. I was leaving behind my two children. They were very young, And it was really very difficult for me to leave them behind and to pursue education. I still remember when I was at airport and ready to board, I just felt incomplete. I could not express the feeling that I had, that I felt that I'm leaving something that is part of me. Then, after a few months, when I was speaking with my children over the Skype, and they were very young, and one of my child said that, "Mama, you are a butterfly," and I said, "What?" So she said, "Mama, you're a butterfly." And I asked, "Why? Why do you say that I'm a butterfly?" And she said, "Because you flew away." And I was like, "Oh, I flew away. I am butterfly and I flew away because I no more live with them." And that was a huge shock for me. I didn't show my expressions to them at that time, and because they were laughing and they were just making fun, and it was just very easy for them to say that because that was their feeling. So once I put down the phone and I reflected, oh my God, I flew away. My children are feeling that I am not with them. And then the next 2 days were very difficult for me. I was just keep thinking. I could not concentrate on my work, on my studies, and it was just like something has gone away from my life. And then I reflected. Then after 2 days, 3 days, when I spoke with them, I said that I bring that conversation up again. I said, "You told me that I am a butterfly because I flew away." I said, "Yes, I am a butterfly because not every caterpillar becomes a butterfly. A caterpillar has to live in the cocoon for many days without any food, without anything, all alone in the cocoon, and have to do its work so hard that it can break the cocoon and come out from it. And many caterpillars would do that and would never become a butterfly. Yes, I am a butterfly because I worked hard and I am still doing it. And I'm teaching you this, that this is the lesson of life. You should also become a butterfly." And I said to my both children that you are my wings. Yes, I am a butterfly and you are my wings. You are my strength. I only fly if you have with me. So that was one memory that I would never ever forget. Advice to children? Oh, so I always, when I say goodbye to my children when they are going to school, I say five things actually. I give them high five, which means, and they know that what it means, and I repeat it all the time, so they do remember it throughout their life. So I say, study hard. Education is very important, and it is the mandatory aspect of your life. So learn, and learning does not end at the school. Learning is a lifelong process. So yes, study hard throughout your life, not only at school. The second thing is be mindful. Be mindful of your soul. Be mindful of yourself. Be mindful of surroundings around you. Be mindful of your environment. Someone might need you. So be mindful. The third thing is help others and hold on to your values, hold on to your faith, because this is a very important aspect of our life. It's the life is not centered only around us. It's other people. It's our faith that are values. It's very important to us. The fourth thing is, I always see them, don't forget to smile. Stay happy, stay calm, stay relaxed, enjoy your life. Life is so beautiful. So always smile and be happy. The fifth thing I say is leave your mark. I always say my children that children are born with capacities, potentials, and you have everything that you need to change this world. You have all the potentials. You just have to craft it, polish it, and if you do that, you will leave your mark in this world. We read about famous people, we read about Plato, Socrates, and other famous people. And I always say to them that you would be remembered When you are gone, you would be remembered 100 years, 200 years after you have died. People will remember you. Do your job, do your work with sincerity, hold on to your faith, and change the world. Leave your mark so people will remember you. When you go from this life, from this world, make sure you leave the world a better place as compared to what you have received. So, yes, leave your mark. So, this is my high five. That's my advice.